Another thing that it's not wrong how it's written, but the convention is that we're going to write it in a very particular way, is that when you get to a final answer, you're going to simplify. And simplify has a very specific meaning. Typically, if you see anything added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided, actually, by a rational function. So a rational function is something like 3 over 4x or something like that. It's just got that fraction bar. You will write it as a single rational expression. So that means, for example, let's say that we had 3x plus 2 over 5x. We're going to write this as a single rational expression, so that means we're going to need to get common denominators first in order to add this up. So this is 3x over 1, so 5x is going to be our giant 1. Five x times 3x is 15x squared over 5x plus 2 over 5x. And now we can add the numerators. Right like that. And again, this is not a wrong way to leave it, but when you're doing multiple choice answers for AP tests, it's generally going to be written in this form, and you need to be able to get from here to here. You need to be able to do the same thing with radicals. In calculus, unlike in pre-calculus, square roots in the bottom is okay, but we're typically going to want to write this as one rational expression rather than two different things. So x square root of x plus 3 is our denominator. It's going to be our common denominator. Notice that square root of x plus 3 times square root of x plus 3 is square root of x plus 3 squared. So that square root is going to go away. These are canceling out in a sense. Notice that since we can distribute this negative, we should. Just so that we can write it a little bit simpler, 1 minus 3, negative 2. Right like that. Again, now that we're doing calculus, square root in denominator is okay. We want to do similar simplifications when there's division. So let's say we start with 6x plus 1 over 3x, 5x over 7. Remember, dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So this is 6x plus 1 over 3x times 7 over 5x. If we multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator, 6 times 7 is 42x plus 1 times 7. Three x times 5x, 15x squared. We can also do the same idea with very complicated rational expressions. So let's take this one for example. We've got 3x squared over 5 plus 2x. That's all over the sign of x, which is just a function like any other. We can just multiply, do whatever, just like normal. So we know that this is 2x over 1. Our common denominator is going to be 5. Don't forget to carry the other part down here. You don't want to lose part of it. So we've got 3x squared. Common denominator is going to be 5. 2x times 5 is 10x. All of this is over sine x. At this point I have one fraction in the numerator, one fraction in the denominator. So I'm going to write this as sine x over 1 because I know that if I divide by a fraction that's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So it's really 3x squared plus 10x over 5 times 1 over sine x. These can just be multiplied together. Down in the denominator here, these can just be multiplied together. Voila.